Some of you caught that I wrote something on the board. How do you hold the phone? That's right. Landscape mode, landscape. Okay, TikTok, everything else. You got me? TikTok is designed around this. They very specifically thought, okay, I want to take up the entire screen and I want to be able to keep you addicted by not giving you a lot of choices. That was the purpose of TikTok. All right? Everybody else is like, I need to be able to see this, and possibly I have a comment section underneath. So every other platform. But this is more applicable for academics, for a professional setting. If you're working at a PT clinic and you're working with a client and you want to get some footage, you don't really want it in portrait mode, because you're probably going to put it on a computer and compare it to previous, trials of that client going through a rehabilitation routine. Right? So you're going to want it in this mode. All your laptops, your desktops, whatever. The screen's this way. You're holding it this way for that reason. You want to get widescreen. Additionally, your eyes see in widescreen. Right? You don't see in portrait mode. You see widescreen. Your peripherals, but you don't see very high, very low. You see across. We want it in landscape for that reason. Stop. Hey, back to the camera. Okay, landscape mode. And some of you got the idea, both hands. Right? How much did this phone cost? This phone cost $1,000. I know, I bought it. $1,000 right there. I'm gonna hold it with both hands. I suggest you do so too. It's important. Hold on to that phone. Don't let it drop. I got one hand that's more on it. That's the one that's away from the camera. The other one's a little more like L-shaped. What you gotta do for your camera? I know we're getting better with cameras on it too. All right, so good. I got both hands on it. I'm holding it in landscape. This is making it a lot more stable. It's making it a lot more secure. Because you hold one hand, you got a lot of this, right? We're a dynamic creature. We aren't made of steel. We're made out of pieces of bone that are all connected with rubber, sinew, muscle. You're breathing, you're moving, I'm moving, and now you have to try and keep me in your camera, right? So you want both hands on there. And you want to be able to make nice, smooth motions, because this is just nuts, right? I have watched enough online videos that I know right from the beginning, when I look at a video, before I even click on it, when it's just a thumbnail, this is going to make me bark. I will skip it. Because the person did this when they were recording. No, you're not going to do that ever again. Both hands, elbows in, right? I'm bringing my elbows in so that I can put more muscle into it. The more of your long muscles you can use, the smoother your transition, the smoother your pan, your tilt, the smoother it will be, the better it will look. Get those elbows in. When they're out, you gotta hold your shoulders up. You're putting a lot of dynamic tension into it. Relax it down, okay. Stay in camera. You have plenty of percentage battery. All right, so I got my elbows in. I got my hands on there. Now here's another thing. If you're just doing it with friends and stuff, you'll probably move around a little bit. You're just making a video with your friends. But if you're doing it for a reason, you're doing it for a class, you're doing it for a client, you probably have the opportunity to be able to stay still, which is really important to get good video. You don't want to move around. Also, turn with your core. Don't turn with your hands, don't turn with your head. Long, smooth muscles. Turning with your core, just looking at it right now, you can tell. Just turning with my core. I'm getting to use my long muscles. That means that this is much smoother. You can tell right now. It's right there in your face. Turn with the core. Turn with your core. Use those muscles. Right? Turning with your core. Now that's some basics, very, very basic stuff. Just getting a camera to work for you. Another thing is how you frame it. The center 75% of your camera's view scope, the view space, is the good part. just like your eyes. In fact, your eyes, round, camera lens, round. It is. If you look in there, it's a round camera. And especially with the digital camcorders we're going to use, it's very obvious. Stop it. So, actually, I might want to bring that up. Center 75% of your screen. That's where the good stuff is. And if you look, my hand back in front of it. If you look on mine, I've turned on the grid lines. You see that? There are grid lines. You can do that too. They don't show up in the recording. You should turn those on. You should keep those grid lines on. I've got the 9x9 on there, or 3x3, the 9 square version of it. You might find 9, you might find 16, there's 4x4. Turn on the grid lines because that really helps you keep where is the good portion of the screen, where's the good portion of the video. Because even with the software in here, even with improvements in the camera lenses, they're still gonna have a fisheye lens effect, where part in the middle is better than the edges, where it gets stretched. Now your brain does the same thing with your eyes. Your eyes actually see a very bowed, bowl-like image. 2 of them, not synchronous in time. That's stereoscopic vision, it really helps us catch a ball. Your brain bends that so that you don't see the weirdness of it, but nothing's perfect. So it's always the best right in the middle. Center 75. You're gonna chop off, the 25% around the outside. That's not good stuff. And it's not very good focus. That center 75. So you gotta keep whatever your target is, whatever your subject is, right in the middle. Those grid lines really help. Then, you got the, what do we do about being human part, right? Simple, making a camera work nice. Making a frame and a subject look nice. What do I do about the fact that I'm still a human in this? Well, we have 2 things we can do, if you can do it. Become a tripod, eliminating as much of you as possible from it, or go into horse stance. Now, horse stance is for like, I'm out in the middle of the football field over there, recording somebody during their practice. I have nothing to lean against. What am I going to do? Okay. Well, already, escape, both hands, elbows in, turn to the core, get your feet, bow, shoulder width apart, bend the knees just ever so slightly so you're not locked, because it makes you vibrate when you're locked. Just a little bit. You turn with your core, right? That's pretty good. It's not perfect. We can get better. Get up against the wall. I'm going to get in the door. All right, so we're going to become a tripod. The triangle is the strongest, simplest shape in nature. We're going to use that to our advantage. We want 3 points of contact. I'm going to take my shoulder and put it into the doorway. I'm going to take my right foot. I'm going to put it right up in the corner. I'm going to take my left foot outside. I'm now leaning into it. This means that my body weight is now being spread apart into solid surfaces. I don't vibrate very much anymore. I mean, I'm yelling at you, didn't get you to hear me, but I'm taking as much of my body out of this equation as possible while holding a camera. And this makes it much, much more stable. Right? So getting it this way, you can still turn with your core, angle it, have the camera turn off on you, right? That's one way. I can do it here too. Putting my shoulders into the wall, putting right foot or left foot back against the wall, and the other one out, leaning my weight into the wall. Let the wall, the floor take all my weight. I don't want any of that energy in my arms. I can still turn, nice and smooth. And finally, well, what if you have a desk? Oh, great, quick, back to your desk. If you have a desk, if you have a small wall, some shrubbery, I don't know, something small that you can lean against, I'll make a tripod there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm putting my weight into the desk so that I am not affecting it. I'm putting all my arm weight into my elbows. This gets really nice, stable video. If you have a professor that's cool with you recording the class as a way of taking notes, this is how you do it. Right? None of my body needs to be in here. I can still ask questions. When I breathe, it doesn't bounce. That's nice. Making a tripod, 3 points of contact. Take your body weight out of it. Now that's what's necessary for this video. Stop recording.